It's Week 11 of the NFL, and we'll see Tony Pollard, who's in the midst of what's been the greatest single season for a running back in NFL history. We can hardly wait for the start of this one. Coming up next.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you take a look at our home side as we enter play here. They've been the talk of the NFL so far. 9 wins in their first 9 games.
And some people subscribe to the theory that a loss might not be the worst thing for them. They've had it easy all year long. How would they do handling adversity?
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes that actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And he's going to be out of bounds here on the return at his own 2-yard line. So out comes the offense now with a long field ahead of him. And they will be led out by a man in his sophomore campaign as the quarterback.
And last year's rookie year, a bit of a mixed bag for the young signal caller out of Kentucky. Showed off plenty of tools, but was hurt in the preseason, and it took a little while to get going. But once he did, he showed exactly why the Titans wanted him. Toughness, leadership, and a big arm. The team rallied around him down the stretch.
The first carry now for Tony Pollard. Up the right sideline. He's got a full head of steam. The race is on. Touchdown! Tony Pollard, 98 yards. And his guys have taken a first-quarter lead.
Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big strike like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
Folk connects on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Folk now set booted after his guys put 6 on the board.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. So here are the Vikings to go on offense for the first time, and it's a rookie at the helm, the 10th overall pick back in April out of Michigan, J.J. McCarthy.
And the tendency for most of these guys is to want to match things right away because they have a lot of confidence in their talent too. They just saw a big strike against their team, and you know they're thinking to themselves, I can get this back right now on one play. Well, if it's there, you take it, but otherwise, just go ahead and calm your team down. Run the offense, get things going, and see how things settle in.
They'll give him 4 yards there, and it'll be second down.
McCarthy off the play fake. Finds his man. There's Jordan Addison.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up.
So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. Now he's able to break through 1 tackle, but it slowed him down enough that he could only manage getting back to the line of scrimmage.
Now a 2nd and 10. Working out of the gun is McCarthy.
And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Give the sack to Jerome Baker.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
Open man is Naylor. He's got it.
It'll be a gain of 5, and that'll bring up 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback.
The home team's offense, led by their running back, headed out for the second possession. He is the NFL's leader in rushing yards to this point in the season. And if he can replicate or even surpass the production that he had over the first half of the year, he's going to have a good chance to take home the title. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
So deep trouble here, backed up to their own 1-yard line for 2nd and long.
They toss it down to Pollard. There he goes up the right sideline. He's got a full head of steam on his horse.
And touchdown! Tony Pollard halfway to 100 now with career touchdown number 50. And his guys get the quick strike touchdown.
You get in a 2nd and long situation down here in the red zone, I'd say most defensive coaches would think pass, let's bring some pressure. So this is kind of a tendency breaker here to hit him with something on the ground, and he'll take it all the way into the end zone.
Extra point up and good by Folk. And that'll make the score 14-0.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Second quarter now, and it's our home team with possession as they've got it as we resume action.
Folk out there now to kick this one off.
And a nice return sets them up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
The Vikings taking the field here for their second drive of the game.
And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. Points on the board here. That one out wide and intercepted. Picked off by L'Jarius Sneed.
Well, it's not the first time we've seen him give one up here during his rookie season. And in this case, zone coverage forced the mistake. He's made some strides week to week in how he's handling the different type of coverages that he's seeing. But clearly, there's some growing still to do.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And now consider the lead. The question is, how much is good enough? Are you going for more?
It's the NFL. There's never enough, I believe, because they get reeled in all the time when you sit on the ball. I think that they will try and move the ball downfield and try and squeeze a few more points out of this first half. They'll be careful. They'll be a little bit cautious at times, but also they will attack downfield and try and get in position for at least 3 points.
Pollard going to try the right side. Now he's into the clear again. He's got a full head of steam. The race is on.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown.
Tony Pollard
on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead.
So his big first half continues. His 3rd touchdown already. We'll have to keep watch as this game goes along, how much they want to continue to ride him, because he could be on his way to a record-setting performance.
Folk connects on the extra point, and that makes the score 21-0. It only took him 2 plays there to find the end zone. The last one, the long run, getting him in for 6 points. Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Vikings going to take over now late in this first half. Charles, you're down multiple scores, less than a minute left here, but with that deficit, they've got to try to at least work their way into field goal range to try to muster something out of this drive.
And I'm going to go ahead and date myself one more time because I'm going to quote an old Smokey and the Bandit lyric. They've got a long way to go and a short time to get there, but they still have time to get it done. So I'm looking forward to watching them mount this drive and see if they can get some points out of it.
Second and a couple. To the air with McCarthy. And he's got this to Jefferson.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Here's McCarthy.
To Jones in the flat. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Throwing again, McCarthy. Over the middle and complete to Addison.
Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. First red zone chance now for the Vikings. 1st and 10 right at the 20. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34.
Sebastian Joseph Day
has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts.
So as they talk, it always step aside.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24.
He gets it to Addison.
Only able to gain a couple there. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And he held on to it too long. A coverage sack. Down he goes. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. And this one is no good. He missed it.
Always disappointing when you miss a field goal, but when you're playing against a defense this good, you and I both know that's a crucial miss because you can't afford to leave any points out there. You've got to take them when you can.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive.
And maybe a chance for a quick completion and then a long field goal try. We'll see.
And he goes out of bounds without getting rid of it. A big, big loss there, and it goes down as a sack as well. It'll wind up being a huge loss on the play, and that's going to bring up a 2nd and forever. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half.
Running right, it's Pollard.
And he'll get this up to right around the 8-yard line. So we've hit halftime here, but obviously it's a very fast-moving first half of play. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. The NFL season going to be about 2/3 complete after this weekend, so lots to get to as we check out what's going on here in Week 11. We'll get things started up at Ford Field in Detroit, and it's the Jaguars who have the lead in the second quarter. The Jags still in a dogfight, but this would be a good victory for them if they could get it. From there, let's hop over to New England. Check out the Patriots at home in Foxborough. And you can see, currently they trail in that ball game. Matthew Stafford, 3 touchdown passes. Lastly, let's get to the Windy City. See what's happening with the Bears at home at Soldier Field. And that one all tied.
It was a strong first half for running back Tony Pollard. He was loose in the secondary over and over and over again. He's got to be getting oxygen at halftime because he put up a month's worth of stats in one half of a football game. This was an extremely one-sided first half. One team showed up ready to go. The other's been in a daze thus far, but there's still plenty of time left for this one to tighten up significantly.
Both these teams, no doubt, making their final halftime adjustments as we speak. And for the call of the second half, we get it back out to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
The Vikings set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail it here as we resume play.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them.
I know they'd love to take some heat off of that young quarterback, but so far, not much in the running game, and this won't help things either. A loss on that play.
And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. Credit the sack there to Arden Key. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
McCarthy, he'll set to throw it.
And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Harold Landry, he's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks brings up fourth down.
And here's Ryan Wright now.
As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Taking it about the 36.
This is Tony Pollard.
We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory.
The home team's offense and running back Tony Pollard set to go back to work. And as we roll through some of the highlights, we see how crucial he's been to their success in this one. When he's in this type of a groove and his offensive linemen are creating running lanes for him, he can really put on a show, and he's done so here.
Could not have thrown that out there any better. When the ball hit the ground, I thought it might go into the end zone the way it was angling, but perfectly jutting out at the 1.
You think maybe what we saw in practice came into play there? You know, he put those big cans down on the sideline and angled for him, and it
fights through, and now a crease. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up first and 10. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter.
Levis looking to throw.
Out to his left. And he goes out of bounds without getting rid of it. A big, big loss there, and it goes down as a sack as well. A huge loss on the play, and that's going to bring up a second at about a mile here. Here's Pollard.
Now he's free up the right sideline. He's got a full head of steam on his horse.
And he'll take this all the way down to the 15-yard line. A big hitter there from deep in their own territory. 83 yards. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4.
Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver.
And he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9. A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Now it looks like he'll throw here. Shakes off the sack. And a most curious way there to burn some clock. That was wild, and at the end of all that, it winds up a safety.
And now they'll stop play here, at least momentarily. A member of the Vikings in some discomfort after that last play. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment.
So after that safety, now a free kick situation forthcoming as they punt it away from the 20.
Oh, the return is Powell.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again.
And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. We said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second...
Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body.
Picked off by L'Jarius Sneed.
And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
That right there, Charles, is your exclamation mark. They already had the nice lead on their way to a victory, but one final touchdown here to widen the margin late in the fourth quarter.
Let's make it pretty simple. When you can seemingly score at will, why wouldn't you take advantage of being in that zone and getting one more to cap off this game?
Now Folk for the extra point. And that will bump them up to 26. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. The Vikings offense and J.J. McCarthy getting ready to go back to work. And it's been a struggle for him all afternoon. This defense has really done a nice job of making him earn everything he gets. And it's prevented him from getting into any kind of rhythm here today. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is end the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Throwing is McCarthy.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield.
And he's going to be intercepted for the third time thus far.
Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And he'll take this all the way down inside the 40. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's the guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And they just continue to roll right along, really. This has the looks of yet another victory as they hope to polish it off here in quarter number 4.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
A little jet sweep to start the drive. Loose inside the 30. Inside the 10.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Extra point up and good by Folk. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
And the Vikings now heading on to the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
And now he's got him at a great spot at the 8-yard line here, 1st and goal. And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the 4th. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about we're going to address this come practice next week because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help them improve.
Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal.
They'll start out here with a jet sweep. And a great read by the secondary. They come up to stop that touch pass before it can even get back to the line.
So plenty of smiles for the folks here as they head for the exits. It's a victory for their hometown guys. And we talk so much about the turnover battle, determining who wins, who loses. This game, no exception. Error-free football, no turnovers at all, and they win it.
So this is one you don't have to convince your team that what you're saying is accurate. And you know what I'm talking about. Head coach always stands up in front of the team and says, guys, if we do this, this, and this, we'll win. And usually they say if we win the turnover battle, we'll win. Well, here's the proof right there. Win the turnover battle, go on to victory. Now the guys believe. You move on to the next lesson where you have to convince them. This one is now planted.
So for the home team here, they keep on rolling 10-0 now to start the year. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Houston Texans. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, it was a game they really needed as they drop back to 4-6. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at Soldier Field with the Chicago Bears.